This is the so-called Inosanto 48, or the 48 strike numbering system from the Inosanto La Costa method. We always call it the Inosanto 48. You could also call it the MKG 52, the Rick Faye 52. That's another name sometimes I call this, but actually kind of an old numbering system from Guro Inosanto. And the way Rick adds a caveat to it is to point out that it may have changed over time, but this is the way that he learned this system. And it's really, really valuable, by the way. There's a lot of different versions of attack in this that you don't otherwise see as often. So I really like it. Okay, so you could start neutral, do your salutation, start neutral, and step into your lead. You could start right foot forward. Right now, I'm either not gonna move my feet or I'll be moving them in a way that I'm not really conscious of. I'm just gonna move naturally. We'll focus on the actual numbering system for the weapon. Angle 1 is as it usually is for most systems. Same with 2. Angle 3 is horizontal to the waist, very common for bringing it back. Angle 5 is thrust down the middle. Oftentimes that's called the Inosanto La Costa or La Costa Cinco Terros number 1. Number 6 is a high inward thrust. Number 7, the tip turns around to pull through vertically. And number 8 is we're gonna backhand thrust through the line that way. Okay, so that so far is angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 9 and 10 are downward diagonal on the low line, like to the knee and shin. 11 and 12 are uppercut motions, like this. They could go low, or really you're gonna pull low through high. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 and 14 are horizontal motions to the high line, to the vision. 15 is vertical, and 16 is a variation on vertical. So 15 is gonna go from 12 to 6 and pull out. 16 is actually gonna come through the center with the tip and carve more through 10 or 11 o'clock on my side and pull out on the 6 or maybe the 5. So it just barely becomes a backhand diagonal. Having finished this motion, 17 is gonna start straight away from where it landed. The tip is pointing forward, and you're just gonna rip that thrust through. See this body position, just rip it right through the line. Bang, like that. Next one we'll jab, and then we start on the Redondos. Okay, the first Redondo is high inward diagonal, like an angle 1. The next one is a low inward diagonal. And the last one is a backhand vertical Redondo. So from the top, that's angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11 and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 18, 19, 20, 21. That 21, I've also seen that taught as an abanico with tip instead of a redondo. 22 is going to be, 22 and 23 are also going to be abanico, like this. So you're going to go on your right and then through to the left, like that. 24 is you're going to let the tip curl vertical, and let this hand come to it, and rip that all the way down to the ground. Okay, and you can kind of change your foot position or just sync with it. But you think 2 hands on the sword and rip it right to the ground. From the top, 1 through 24 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 19, 20, 21. 22, 23, and 24. So those first 24 are like one chunk of material, but the second 24 would be as follows. You have 2 hands on the stick, a little bit of punyo sticking out on each side. You're gonna go low thrust, and this kind of comes from the outside. Diagonal thrust. Then imagining somebody has stopped this, you're gonna use the punyo to pull down. So they stopped it and you're pulling their arm down. You pull down, then let the backhand side rip through as a strike. Okay, so that would be 25, 26, pull, and 27, that's diagonal. Same thing on the other side, 28, 29, pull, and 30, that way. Then we're gonna go vertical underneath, vertical over top, pull and hit. Vertical underneath on the back side, vertical over top, pull and hit. Okay, next part is puños. Okay, so there's a chunk that's all of your families of hitting and slashing. Then there's some 2-on positions. Then there's going to be the puño series like this. So that's going to be 1, 2. Same angles as I did for the 2 hands on. Pull, and you're going to rip the puño through. See, when this pulls, I let the tip start to drift left so that the puño comes forward. Same thing on this side. Diagonal, diagonal, pull. Let the tip come through the center so you can rip through specifically with the puño. Okay, you're gonna hit underneath, over top, and punch. Underneath, over top, let the tip drift. This one you grab the back of the head and punch, like that. Okay, so from the top, that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, 19, 20, 21, or 21, 22, 23, and 24. Grab. 25, 26, pull 27, 28, 29, pull 30. 31 is vertical, 32 is vertical, pull and hit. That would be 33. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 43, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, and 48, like this. This is a cradle, and you sandwich. Where we turn it into the Rick Faye or the MKG 52 is that what Guro Rick always likes to say is that we use this last part to close out the set, which I think is cool. And so I don't know if this is his thing that he plugs into it, or if this is also a Guro Inosanto thing, but I make it a Rick Faye distinction because I've only ever seen it from him. So having finished this way with your cradled punch like that, you're gonna grab, as you did in the set before, 2 hands on. You're gonna bring this up and pull it back. See from the side, I bring it up and pull it back. You've got somebody with their hands up in front of you. You're gonna lace this over their hands into the crook of their elbow and pull. That will cause their head to come forward. When you pull their head forward, you shove this in or move your feet like that. So you're causing them to come here and then run right into that shot. 1, 2. Then what you're gonna add is 2 punches with the puño that way. So that's like jab and cross. So 1, 2, bang, bang, like that. And you can close it out that way. Okay, so I'm gonna run the whole thing from a few different directions and just follow along. You can see it from different perspectives, and I hope that this helps. I think that, again, this is such a fascinating numbering system because it teaches you so much about the different ways that a simple stick could be held and used against somebody else. There's other things that aren't in this, but there's not a whole lot that's not in this. It's pretty great. Okay, here we go.